Hi there, my name's Celeste. If you did not know already, I thought I'd try this video thing that the kids seem to be doing. I thought it would be helpful for people who wanted to know what's going on, and also I feel like it's good for me to talk about it. um, I got diagnosed with cancer on September 25th. I think today is October 12th, so it's been like almost three weeks, I guess. It's been about 3 weeks, um, and I I think the first thing that I want to talk about is thank you, thank you for supporting me, and I I'm not totally sure how to process everything. I've been totally blown away. And as a person who, I identify as an introvert, and I'm not around people a whole lot, and the fact that so many people have like shown up to tell me they love me and they care about me and they'll do anything, and y'all are doing so much, and thank you. I've been trying to work out how I could ever express how grateful I am for all of you that are sending me Pazzy vibes and love. It's pretty incredible. Um, so there's the I guess I'm gonna think of the things that people have been asking me about the most. The first one is symptoms. Um, what were they? I'd been having symptoms for like a year and a half. I took a low dose hormonal birth control pill. I think it's called Marlissa. Um, and I took it for about 6 months. And I had, like, as far as I can tell, all the side effects in the book. I had lots of mood swings and irregular periods, constant spotting, bleeding during sex, which was pretty mortifying for me. Um, it just is. I I don't know. Maybe some of you can relate to having sexual hangups, but having bleeding thrown in there definitely was a tough thing for me to work through. I'm in a good place with it now. And had something called I had something called a decidual cast, and I read on the internet that it's can be caused by hormonal imbalances, and it's when the uterine lining, instead of coming out in like little pieces, it comes out all at once, which was super unsettling. So had those for like the last year, in particularly in the last few months. I've been having really bad back pain. I started getting a lot of UTIs, and not from like doing fun stuff, just kind of random UTIs, and just feeling really tired. I just felt so tired for so long, and I was really confused because I've done everything that I knew to do to be healthy. I'd quit smoking at the beginning of this year. I went vegan maybe like 5 months ago. I'd been vegetarian for 5 years now, but went to vegan. I stopped drinking. I was never a big drinker, but when I did drink, even if it was just a little bit, I'd feel like kind of sick for like 4 days, and I started having like I was having like these really big allergic reactions to it, so I'd just get hives on my butt for like 2 weeks, and I'd also started having in the last year like these weird skin infections. So I finally went to the doctor because that seemed like the thing to do. I'd read that it can take up to a year for the symptoms of the birth control to work their way out of the system. So I was waiting for my year to be up, and since things were getting worse, I was like, I should probably just go to the doctor. So I did. And she did a biopsy. She had felt my cervix, and she was like, that's not right. Which was a relief to me because I'd felt like there was something wrong. I'd done I'd been training for a triathlon that I did on September 23rd. And throughout, I just didn't feel like I was getting stronger. My endurance was okay. Like, I felt like I could complete the events that I had to do. But I just, like, my core, it never felt like I could flex it right. And I didn't know if I just wasn't pushing myself enough. I was starting to think like maybe I was a hypochondriac because all the stuff I talked about, that like there was just always something going on. So it was a relief to know that it wasn't just in my head. So yeah, it was cool. Originally, she had referred me to a specialist, OBGYN oncologist, and they weren't going to be able to see me for, I think at that point it was almost 3 weeks. It wouldn't have been until the 15th, and today this is the 12th, so they were trying to get me somewhere earlier, and like it wasn't going to happen, so I was just going to wait. And it was this really strange limbo phase of not knowing, which was a journey. It was pretty weird. However, I went up and got a PET scan. And a PET scan is when they inject radioactive glucose into the bloodstream, and cancer cells metabolize sugar really fast. So when you see the images in the scanner, all the cancer cells light up in the machine. So they're able to see exactly where the cancer is and if there's any tumors and stuff like that. So they got my PET scans, and then I got my appointment like the next day or 2 days after the PET scan results came in. So I met with her, and I immediately felt like I was in good hands. I'm not super into Western medicine. I've always hoped for prevention methods for myself so that I don't get sick, and I've had an aversion, and even with that, I feel I trust the doctors that I'm working with, which is a pretty dope feeling. And when I met with her, she let me know that I had stage 2A invasive endosquamous carcinoma. I think that's what it's called. It sounds like a sea creature to me. She said that I have a tumor that is like that big. It's like she said large softball or cantaloupe. It's pushing on all my organs in that area, so my colon and my bladder and uterus and stuff. So she didn't want to do surgery because I guess it's sticky, and it would be difficult to make sure she got all of it off and stuff. So she suggested chemo and radiation. She also gave me the option of, well, I'll start here, which will make me sterile. And so because of that, she gave me the option to freeze my eggs. She could move one of my ovaries outside of the field of radiation so that potentially they could be saved and, used later. I never really wanted kids, so that wasn't too much of a bummer. It upset me to have the choice taken away, because I don't know, it's just how I feel about it. However, I feel like I'm okay. I was raised in like an alternative family situation, so I'm okay if I do decide to have kids, that there's a kid out there that will be mine. So that was cool. Meeting with her. And it also, just the placement of the tumor that she talked about also was, I've been saying this thing where it's like, I'll either say fucked up silver lining or weird silver lining, because there's just all these weird silver linings. So the weird silver lining in this case for me, of knowing where all these symptoms was coming from and stuff, was the back pain, is because the tumor is pushing on my sacrum. So there's a lot of nerves down there. So that's why that was going on. And also it's pushing down on my pelvic floor, so I haven't been able to contract my pelvic floor to engage my core. And that was, that's all a relief to know, because I was pushing myself really hard, and I didn't know how to push myself any harder, and I was just concerned that I was, I don't know, not, that thing. Maybe I thought I wasn't like good enough or trying hard enough or something, and it's a relief to know that wasn't it. These weird silver lining. So that was cool. This week has been, I met with, let's see how this go. I met with the radiologist who's going to administer the radiation, and she's also awesome. And basically she's gonna, how do I explain it? Okay, I think I needed a second to figure out how to describe that part. I'm a little bit spacey, and it's been a lot of information coming in, so I'll do my best to explain things. Sometimes I just don't know how, for some reason. So this week I met with the radiologist, and she described what my symptoms are going to be. She also had 2 nurses come in and explain what side effects I'm going to get from the radiation and what the process looks like and stuff too. So I was with them for like 5 hours, and it was a lot of information, and I mean they took their time, and it was like so awesome to have, feel supported by doctors and stuff and the nurses. And so there's a good amount of side effects in there. I won't necessarily get all of them. Everyone responds differently to treatment. So, I think the biggest ones were nausea and lethargy. So that was that one. There is a treatment I am going to get called brachytherapy, which is the one that, when I got there, is the one that made me the most uncomfortable about the treatment process so far. Essentially, they'll insert 3 long needles into my cervix that are attached by like flexible tubing to a radiation rod, and administer chemo directly to the tumor and stuff. I'll get a spinal block and I'll be sedated. I don't know, it just sounds gnarly. It'll be all right though. So that was that part. I also met with the medical oncologist who's going to be administering the chemo, and she's also a badass. I have a team of 3 totally badass women as my doctors, and then all the nurses that I've met have been fucking awesome too. So that's cool. The chemo part, it's gonna be interesting. Again, it's a thing where everyone reacts differently to treatment. So I might lose my hair. I might not. I might have, the bad skin thingies that can happen, and I might not. I have no idea what to expect. I'm just doing my best to be prepared. Everything's been so fast that I don't know how I feel about a lot of stuff, and of course, the future is none of my business, I guess. So that's that. I'll start that in a couple weeks. It's going to start with, I'm going to be getting 5 days a week for 5 weeks radiation treatments. Once a week for 6 weeks during the same time, congruent to the radiation chemo. The brachytherapy, and hopefully I'm saying that right, that will be for once a week for 3 weeks starting the 4th week of radiation, I believe. So, or 5th week. I'm not totally sure. So that's what I know so far. I'm going to be okay. They feel pretty confident that they can handle it. So that's cool. I'm having a really good day today. I had like a massage, and it's the first day that I felt back in my body. I described the last 2 weeks as just feeling like I'm coming down from acid. I don't know if you've done it before, but it's if you have, it's like coming down without the euphoria. Kind of not being here and not being anywhere else either. And it's a strange thing. These are one of those things that happen in life that I had no way of preparing for. This is a new world for me, and I'm gonna be all right. I know that, and I guess the one of the other things is, I've been asked what can people do to help, and I don't know what I'm gonna need yet. One thing that I feel pretty strongly about is that when things like this happen, just hard shit that no one knows how to deal with, I think what I would say is, like, when this stuff happens to one person, it happens to everybody. Everybody has their own, trip that they have to go on with it. And I really hope that everyone takes really good care of themselves. That's something that is really important to me. Because everything's okay right now. And, like, if anything, shit's probably gonna, shit all comes up daisies. And then at least, like, we're in better shape than when we started. And if it does happen to get hard, then at least our threshold for things that are hard is higher. So that's something that's really helpful. And if I can think of anything else, I'll let you know. Another thing is, if you have any really good books, please let me know what they are, because I don't want to be on my phone so much. And I think that's all that I can think of. If you've got any questions that you want me to answer, or you're curious about whatever facets of the medical system, I've learned a lot in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Just you can leave a comment or something, or just give me a call on the phone, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know, or I'll make another video if that's interesting. Again, thank you so much for everything. I love you, and be good to yourself and your biscuit, whether it's your biscuit or a biscuit that you love. Yeah. All right. I'll see you later.